Why are there so many different chord shapes on the guitar fretboard? Do you ever feel overwhelmed by the sheer number of different chord shapes on the guitar? In this video I'm going to explain why the guitar fretboard often appears to be irregular and why it can sometimes feel that there's no systematic approach to playing it. Hi, I'm Simon, I play the guitar, and I've just started a YouTube channel to share my insights and experiences with what I've learned so far on this instrument and as a musician. In the last video, I explained the basic logic of the guitar fretboard. Today I want to address one of the major issues we encounter when navigating the guitar. This problem stems from an irregular tuning system that we have to understand in order to build chords and scales on the guitar. So, if you've ever asked yourself why the same chord looks different on the fretboard depending on where you play it, I can tell you why that is. For example, if I play a C major triad on the G, B and E string, it will look like this. But then, if I play it on the D, G and B string, it will look like this. And, as if that wasn't enough, if I play it on the A, D and G string, it will look like this. To understand this, we have to look at how the guitar is tuned, and it's tuned in fourths between the lowest four strings. You can also verify this by going up 5 halftone steps on one string, because that is the interval of a fourth. So, logically, you'll arrive at the same note as the next string. Many of you may know this from tuning the guitar by ear. As you progress with tuning your guitar, you'll notice that this method won't work between the G and the B string. Going up a fourth from G would give you a C note, but the second string is tuned to B, which is a halftone step lower. So, from G to B there's only a major third, and you need to play on the fourth fret of the G string to match the pitch of the B string. But what does that mean for our chords and shapes on the guitar? Let's explore this by using a very linear shape. So if we were to play just fourths from string to string, we'd end up seeing a slight bend between the G and the B string. It looks like this. And that bend we have to consider in every chord and scale and pattern we play on the guitar. I'll give you a very simple example first. Let's play an octave. Here I played an octave by going up 2 frets and 2 strings. I can always shift that octave anywhere I want to, starting from the E string or starting from the A string. But as soon as the G and the B string are involved, we have to compensate the different tuning by going another fret up. And you can always use this shape when building an octave from the D or the G string. In my last video I posed a question why the guitar sometimes feels counterintuitive. I think it's important to revisit that question now. So, how does that feel? We're playing the same interval, but depending on where we play it, we have to cover a greater distance. Therefore it can sometimes feel strange because we play the same interval and we hear the same interval, but it feels different in our fingers. In addition, there are also other ways to play an octave. Let's look at this example. Here I went up 3 strings and down by 3 frets. This shape can be built from the E string. However, if I wanted to build that from the A string, I would once again have to compensate for the tuning and go up 1 fret on the B string. Logically, that makes a lot of sense, but how does that feel? So in the first case, we had to greater the distance between our fingers in order to compensate for the tuning. But now we have to kind of pull the finger closer to the other one, reducing the distance. And that might feel like a contradiction between the interval you're playing and the spatial distance. Returning to our chord shapes, there's another problem that may feel counterintuitive at first. Let's do a little experiment. If we take that same C triad chord shape with its root on the E string, does it sound the same starting on the A string? The result is, yes, it does. Does it also when starting from the D string? No, it doesn't. And does it when starting from the G string? No, again it doesn't. And this was to be expected because we didn't compensate for the tuning. But what I wanted to emphasize here is that chords that look and feel the same sound different depending on where we play them on the fretboard. Now, what we need to understand when building triads on the guitar is that visually, what appears to be a major third on every other string pair actually is a minor third between the G and the B string. And then what looks like a perfect fourth between any other string pair actually is a major third between the G and the B string. So let's take that major third and build a C major triad starting from the G string. Here we have to go one string up to get from the C to the E. And then we have to go one string up and 2 frets down to get from the E to the G. If we start from the D string, we have to go up one string and then 1 fret down, and then do the same again between the G and the B string. So now the different intervals look the same. And if we start from the A string, we don't have to compensate for the tuning, so our C major triad looks like this. And knowing this, you can build all the scales and chords for which you know the interval structure. So we've learned that the guitar is tuned in an irregular way, resulting in various shapes and patterns that may sound the same or different depending on where we play them. We also learned how to compensate for this and how to build chords on our own. My advice for you is to build chords anywhere on the fretboard on your own. Get used to that bend between the G and the B string. And by understanding how all of this works, you start to discover more possibilities for what you can play on the guitar. If you want to learn more about the guitar, please like this video and subscribe to my channel. I hope you enjoyed this video. See you next time.